Thanks for joining me on Homestead Today. Today's project, recycling old hay. I have a lot of old hay that I had left over from not feeding to an animal or selling. So what is some use that you can do with old hay? Well, one use is use it on your garden beds. I have several garden beds that I'm in the process of putting in at my home. So therefore, I'm going to take this old hay, instead of feeding it to an animal and having a chance of them getting sick, and use it for a better purpose. A lot of people who do gardening use hay or straw in order to keep weeds out of their gardens, and that's what I'm going to do today. So let's get loaded up and head down to the homestead. Okay, I've returned back from the farm, and as you can see, I've just about got all the hay spread out over the garden area. Now, in my garden, I have garden boxes. They're about 10 by 10s. Now, inside of these garden boxes, I'm gonna put compost inside of those, and it probably wouldn't hurt to spread a little old hay up on the bottom of it, just to keep any kind of weeds from coming up through your compost. And then I got little designs in mine, and I've got it right around my greenhouse. This is a little triangle, so I'm gonna have a walking path around my greenhouse, so I can go in either end, and I won't be trampling through my garden beds. Now, once you get your compost in there, you might want to give it a good fluffing to make sure that it's dry. And then from that point on, you can start laying out whatever slips or whatever seeds that you're going to plant inside of them. Now I've got to run back over to the farm one last time, and then I'll get back with you in a minute. Now, another use for your old hay, if you still have a lot left over, another thing you can do with it is you can make compost. Now, when making compost, you need to have two main ingredients, and that's nitrogen and carbon. And you can get your nitrogen from pretty much manure, and you could also use cut grass clippings, something that'll heat your compost pile up. Behind me here, I have chicken litter. I was using that to spread over my crop fields, and I still have some left over. Now I'm gonna take my old hay and this chicken litter that I have here and mix it together, and then you could also use wood ash. You could use like old food, like your food scraps, pretty much the leaf type stuff, eggshells, coffee grinds, things of that nature, rotten fruits. Some people say not to use citrusy things, but I haven't really seen much of a difference. But I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna load this up, and I'm gonna take it down there, and then I'm gonna get me another compost pile going. Okay, I've returned back to the homestead, and I'm working on my compost pile. Now, as you can see back here behind me, I've already got a layer of hay and a layer of litter on top of that. Now, I was talking about food scraps. If you know people that maybe are a restaurant or a Salvation Army or something who has food scraps, as you can see right here, those are some of the scraps that I've collected over the weeks. You know, every week I go up and pick up all the food scraps from like shelters and stuff like that, the stuff that they don't use or has went bad, and I save it up, and as I start my compost pile, I'll end up putting it on the pile back here behind me. Now, most people don't have access to a tractor or way like something with a front end loader. I'm doing my pile pretty large. I just take and scatter out some hay, run the chicken litter over top of it, and then put some food scraps with some wood ashes mixed in with it over top of that. And I do about several layers of that repeated process. And at the end, I take the tractor and I push it all up into a big pile, a big old pile. So I'm ready to spread out my food scraps on top of the hay and litter now. And I'll probably do another run of hay, litter, and another run of food scraps. So once I get that done, I'll let you see what it looks like once I get it all piled up. So I got a little held up. I got a call to come pick up some compost scraps, and so dark has caught me, as you can see, but I'm still working. Luckily my tractor has lights, and I just now spread another layer of hay out, and I'm going to put a run of chicken litter and another run of compost scraps on top of that. And then once I do that, then I'm going to ball all of it up into a ball. So dark has caught me, but I mean, with the lights on my tractor, you can see it. Come over here. Okay, so now we have rounded up our compost pile. As you can see, we got hay, chicken litter, food scraps, wood ashes, all in a big massive pile. So I need to get a tarp and put over top of it, and this thing will start cooking. And a compost pile needs to cook for a good while, and the temperature of it needs to be somewhere around 150 to 160 degrees to kill all the weed seeds that may be in the manure or in your hay. But this thing will cook for about a month and a half, or just till when it doesn't cook anymore. You don't want to get a lot of moisture inside of it, because it doesn't really mess with the cooking process. It just makes it real wet, and it just takes a long time for it to really break down like it should. That's the reason why I need to put a tarp over it, so the moisture doesn't get too much, and then it'll just kind of cool it down, and it have to heat itself back up again. But that'll be my day here on Homestead Today. Make sure that you ask questions, leave comments. Check me out at another time. Check out some more videos. Make sure your homestead is the way you want it. Check you later.